The next new part of the user interface in Access 2007 is the ribbon. And the ribbon replaces many bars and toolbars from previous versions of Office. I can guarantee if you've worked with Access before, you're going to be in for a loss of productivity initially as you try and figure out where all the commands have been moved. Microsoft has done a lot of testing and development work on the ribbon, and they've moved everything around to different areas to categorize them by subjects. You're going to have to spend some time learning the ribbon and all the various commands. Right now I'm going to show you the Home and Create tab. If you click on any of these tabs, you'll see that the commands on the ribbons change. External Data and Database Tools. So click on the Home tab again, and you'll notice that some of these commands are dimmed. You cannot select anything in them. And as you move around, you'll notice that certain groups highlight. Down near the bottom where it says Rich Text, Records, Sort and Filter, these are called groups in terms of the ribbon hierarchy. All these commands are grouped by a particular common subject, sorting and filtering, finding records, for example. What I'd like you to do is click on the navigation pane where it says Contacts Navigation, select Object Type, and then double-click on the Contacts table. Now you can see a lot of the commands on the ribbon have lit up and they are available. You may also have noticed that a new tab appeared under a category called Table Tools. A new tab called Datasheet View appeared as soon as we double-clicked and opened the Contacts table. That's what's called a contextual tab, and contextual tabs appear to the right of the Database Tools tab. And we'll discuss contextual tabs as we discuss the different database objects in Part 2. For right now, what you need to realize is a contextual tab is like a toolbar from previous versions, where a toolbar would pop in and out of view depending upon the object that you had open at the moment. Right now, what you see is the Home tab, and if you click on the Views button, you'll see what's called a split button. This button performs two different functions. If you click the top half of the button, it immediately changes the view of that particular object. But if you click the arrow at the bottom part, you can select from 4 different views of this particular object. The ribbon includes a lot of different rich graphics and controls. Small and large buttons, text boxes, drop-down lists, split buttons, check boxes, galleries, and a whole bunch more. It's a rich user interface. So as you get used to using the ribbon, you'll find that it'll be easier to find things. Next to the Views group is the Clipboard group. From here, these are the common commands that you can use to cut an object, copy an object, or paste an object to the clipboard. And if you click right down here, this is the clipboard dialog box. These buttons are a little hard to find, but they will always be in the bottom right corner of a particular group. So if I click here, the clipboard expands to the right, and it has pushed the navigation pane and the object window to the right. And I'm going to close the clipboard. The Format Painter button, we'll explore that when we discuss forms in a later session. But this allows you to copy the formatting from one control to another control. This is a real handy feature when you're actually creating controls on forms and reports even. Next to the clipboard group is the font group. Here you can select from different fonts that are loaded on your Windows installation, different font size, and to the right of that is the text align boxes. You can align text to the left, to the center, or to the right. Beneath the font selection text box is a bold button, italic, and underline. If you'd like to apply any of these to the particular control that you have focus on, you can click this and that will apply it. Right here is the font color button, and it has a little arrow. If you click that arrow, Access 2007 drops down a complete color palette, and it has automatic as the default up at the top. You can choose other Access colors, or you can select standard colors that you'd like to see. And if you click the More Colors at the very bottom, you'll see the Windows what's called Color Picker, where you can actually select a specific color. You can select the Custom tab. You can even create your own red, green, and blue hues of a particular color that you'd like to use for a font. I'm going to click Cancel on this so I can close it. Next to the Font Color button is the Fill Back Color button. And if you click the arrow on this one, you can apply a background color to the particular control that has the focus. Next to the Fill Back Color button is the Grid Lines button. And if you click the arrow on this button, you'll see 4 options, both horizontal, vertical, and none. If you select the first one, you can apply grid lines to both horizontal and vertical. On the horizontal option, you can apply grid lines to just the horizontal lines across. Vertical just goes up and down, and none if you'd like to see no grid lines. On any of these options that have a down arrow, if you do not want to select any of them, you can click off the box that appears, or you can click the arrow again. Next to the grid lines button is the alternate fill back color button, and this is a great new feature of Access 2007. When we discuss forms and reports, I'll show you how this works, but you can apply alternating back colors to different records in tables, queries, forms, and reports. Right here, this table has a back color applied. So if you were to add in some records, you would see alternating colors in the datasheet view. I'm going to click the arrow to collapse this one again. And in here, in the font group, you also see another dialog launcher button. This one is called the Datasheet Formatting dialog. If I click that button, the Datasheet Formatting dialog box comes up with quite a few options for formatting how this datasheet looks on screen. You have different cell effects, flat, raised, and sunken. You can apply different grid lines, background colors, alternate background color, grid line color, and in this box under Sample, Access will show you a sample of how the data is going to look based on the formatting that you're applying. Now some of these options are going to seem a little bit similar to what I just mentioned as far as the grid lines. This one dialog box allows you to change many of these options that you see in the font group. For now, just click Cancel to close it. Next to the font group is the Rich Text group. The Rich Text group is next to the font group, and this particular group will only become available if you're working with a field or a control that has been defined as rich text, a new feature in Access 2007. What I'd like you to do is use the Tab key on your keyboard and tab over to the Notes field. And as you see, all of these options on the rich text now are highlighted and can be used. Up near the top, you'll see Decrease List Level, which decreases the list indent for rich text. Next to that, similar, increases the list level indent. Next to that button, you'll see the left to right text direction, and there's a down arrow for additional options. You can go left to right or right to left. You can even add numbering into your rich text field, bullets, and next to that is a text highlight color. And here again, if you click that arrow, you'll see some more colors. However, it's a very small list in terms of the rich text colors that this field accepts in Access 2007. So I'm going to click off there.